Hey, what's up, family? It's your man, Mark Black. Got you, Joe. Got mine. Let's go ahead and get to it. Remember, link to the cup is in the description field below this video. Yesterday, I did something that many of you will probably see as pretty weird. I actually tweeted a series of tweets to President Trump. By the way, shout out to my Twitter, right? Black Outcast. If you're not following me on Twitter, you fucking up. But if you remember during my last broadcast, I mentioned the fact that we need to stop acting like we're in some way reforming the Democrats, right? This move that we're making, this push that we're making isn't about making the Democrats better. They're not going to be any better, right? ADOS has exposed the Democrats for what and who they are. Mealy mouth, milk toast, passive aggressive ass racist motherfuckers, right? Without a doubt. So sitting here acting like that as soon as the Democrats put out a candidate we can vote for, that our vote goes back to the Democrats is stupid, right? So what I did is I thought about what would I say if I was in front of the president? What would I say if I thought that the president was a human being? Not the Tangerine King, not Imperator Trump, the first of his name, not none of those pejoratives that we use, but actually talk to Donald J. Trump. If I was sitting in the room, across the desk from the president in the Oval Office, what would I say to him? So I introduced myself, told him, I said, I'm a veteran and a citizen. And I'm asking you to advocate for a group of people that not only could use some advocacy, but advocating for this group of people specifically could help to ensure your legacy. We all know every president gives a damn about two things: another term and his legacy. And then I also mentioned to him about the fact that I am an American descendant of slavery, that my ancestors were slaves, that the bones of my ancestors is what makes up the bricks that built this country. I told him that, my lineage. So before anything else, I mentioned the veteran and all that stuff, but before anything else about me personally or about us, I mentioned our lineage. Remember, I told you, family, that your job is to know the ledge, right? To get the knowledge so that you can be an effective advocate. This thing, if it's going to be successful, can't be about just certain people. Sure, there are certain people that if a meeting like this was to take place, we'd want sitting across the table from the so-called powers that be, right? Certain advocates that we would trust to be speaking in our interests with our voice and so on. But ultimately, this thing cannot be about certain leaders, right? Because already our leaders are being attacked. Tariq gets attacked on the constant. Jason Black gets attacked on the constant. Yvette just got attacked by Talib Kweli. I used to like the nigga. At any rate, so I mentioned to him about the hashtag ADOS. I said, you've probably seen the hashtag. I said, this hashtag is the means by which we're organizing online and offline around our distinct lineage and so on and so forth, setting ourselves aside as a class and promoting advocacy for our collective interests. I said, I remember you when you were candidate Trump. You were the only person on the campaign trail that actually spoke to black people. And if you think I'm making it the fuck up, look it up yourself. He gave an entire speech where he laid out a series about 10 different things that would constitute a fairly comprehensive set of programs specifically for Black people. Now, it wasn't a reparations program. Don't get it fucked up. But it was comprehensive. It would be a sea change. And each of these items were directed at us specifically. He gave this speech in front of a crowd of white folks to show you how little courage your Democratic saviors have. Donald Trump stood up in the middle of nowhere in a group of white folks and gave a 47-minute speech on 10 different things he'd like to do specifically for Black folk. So I reminded him of that speech. And I told him that as the leader of the party of Lincoln, because yes, there was a time, believe it or not, when people that look like us voted Republican. Because the Democrats were the party of the slavers, the motherfucking slave masters, the overseers, the rapists, the thugs, the KKK, so on and so forth. Hell, one could argue they're probably still such today. But I reminded him that as the leader of the party of Lincoln, the Republicans once led the country when it came to addressing the needs and the issues, the specific needs and issues of the slaves and the descendants of those same. I invited him to take the lead once again. I said, please take the time to do a little more research. I popped in the names of some advocates that I believe speak with my voice when it comes to matters of ADOS. And I said, I look forward to a response. Yours, Mark Black, a citizen. Why did I mention this today? Well, it's simple. We're not going to get anywhere in this thing by just focusing on the Democrats. Everybody's head up about Bernie. Everybody's fucked up behind Kamala. Nobody gives a fuck about Cory Booker. Marianne is getting some traction, but she's a relative long shot, even if she does get a chance to get in the damn debates, which it doesn't look like so far as of yet she's in there, right? Andrew Yang, nobody's ever heard of him. No name recognition. Gillibrand. Tulsi Gabbard, some people like. My point is everybody who's Black, as usual, is fucking up at putting their focus on the Democrats. I'm telling you, family, put your advocacy everywhere. You need to be talking to Republicans, Democrats, whoever the fuck you can get in front of, and you need to have one thing at the forefront. You need to let your ancestors lead and speak with full-throated, unabashed, unapologetic advocacy for ADOS, for the American descendants of slavery. I challenge you. Fucks with me on Twitter. Then join me in tweeting to the president every day. Just one thing about ADOS people. You can't write a Twitter thread or something. You don't have to write a letter like I did. Just tweet to him with some information. Talking about 2053, talking about our median net wealth in most of the country, talking about continued mass incarceration on the state and local level, not just the federal level that the First Step Act addressed. Start advocating to your government. You don't have to like Donald Trump, and he probably don't like you. But the man at least expressed a willingness to listen to you, which is more than I could say than the disrespectful shit show of a campaign that these Democrats have been running. Do it. Contact them. Who knows? Maybe we might see a summer surprise. That's all I wanted to say on it, family. It's your man, Mark Black. Remember, link to the cup is in the description. Also, if you'd like to share some tips with me, spare change, links to that's in the description as well. And until the next time I see you, I want to wish you love, peace, prosperity, and power, real power to our people.